What is up, guys? This is the 7th episode of the Fast Break Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Sam Godsey, and with me today I have two roommates, Keegan Turnbow to my left and Tanner Dislin on my right. So we're going to start a little series regarding March Madness. We're going to be breaking down the bracket based on region. There should be 4 episodes on each region, and that'll be released all through this week before the tournament plays out. As you know, I have a returning segment, obscure player of the episode so I'm doing a little different. It's obscure NCAA basketball players from teams of that division. So in this episode, we're going to be talking about the South or the West region. And this player was number 34 on Kansas from 2012 to 17. He's a power forward. He's a 2-time All Big 12 in 15 and 16. Third team Big 12 in 2014. Honorable mention All-American in 2015. Second team All-American in 2016. And a McDonald's All-American in 2012. So if y'all have any guesses on who that could be, tweet at the Twitter down in the bio and drop a comment. So y'all have any guesses on that one?
Oh, I got a guess. And what got the guess is when he said 2012 to 2017. But I do have a guess, and I will keep that to myself.
Keys?
I don't have a guess. I have I'm intrigued as to who this would be, who was there for so gosh darn long.
All right. So first off, we're going to start talking about the West bracket. The number 1 seed is obviously the number 1 overall seed, Gonzaga. So we're going to start out by picking and then kind of break it down from there. So first matchup we have right here, we have Gonzaga versus either Norfolk and App State. Who y'all got?
Y'all agree?
Gonzaga. Yeah.
Gonzaga's comfortably there.
Oklahoma, Missouri. Who y'all got?
I have Oklahoma.
I actually have Missouri. I'm rolling with the Tigers.
I have Missouri as well. They look good in the SEC tournament. Then Creighton, University of California, Santa Barbara.
I have Creighton.
I'm going with Santa Barbara. I like the upset here.
I'm also going with the upset here. Virginia, Ohio.
Yeah, I'm not big on Virginia either. I'm rolling with the Bobcats. I've got a double upset.
I have Virginia in this one.
Ohio. USC, Wichita State, and Drake. Wichita State or Drake.
I will have Drake winning Thursday's first 4 matchup, and then moving on to beat USC as well.
I also have Drake beating the Trojans of USC.
I tell you, when the bracket was announced, USC was a team I had circled at a possible upset. And then I saw who they were playing, and I'm not in love with Drake or Wichita State, so I tentatively am going with the Trojans.
Next, 3 versus 14, KU versus Eastern Washington.
Rock chalk, baby.
Jayhawk.
Yes, sir. And then Oregon VCU at the 7-10 matchup.
I'm going to roll with Oregon on this one.
I got the Ducks as well.
Go Ducks. And finally, Iowa versus Grand Canyon.
I think you know all 3 of us are picking on that one.
All right, so we just went through the first round. So out of those, who do you think was the toughest matchup to pick?
Other than the 8-9, which I mean, it's 2 quality teams that seem to always kind of be a toss-up from year to year. I'm looking at the Virginia Ohio. I know I like the Bobcats, but it certainly is a tough game, and I look for it to be a close game.
I think for me, I probably look the way of USC and Drake. And if Drake does not end up winning the Thursday matchup against Wichita State, I do believe I would tend to side in the way of USC instead. But one of the things about that matchup that's difficult is knowing that Drake doesn't have a strong strength of schedule. Not knowing how they can handle someone who is more apt to playing better teams in a type of conference. We'll have to see how it plays out on Saturday, I believe, in this region.
Yeah, and that also applies to that Virginia Ohio game. Obviously, Virginia plays in the ACC, down here from the ACC, but
Yeah.
the ACC nonetheless.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Virginia, Ohio as well. Virginia has had problems during the ACC tournament with COVID, and their coach recently came out. They're not going to be traveling till Friday night, and that's just going to be a tough adjustment. Not playing for a week and then not really practicing a whole lot because of COVID, and then jumping into game. Yeah, it's Ohio. You can say what you want about them, but it's March Madness, so anything can happen. So we went through the first round, saw some picks that we had troubles with. Next round, we're going to have Gonzaga versus either Oklahoma or Missouri. Who y'all got there?
Jags.
I got them playing Missouri, and yes, of course.
Yeah, I have Missouri in that I have them playing Missouri, but I got Gonzaga winning that one. UCSB or Ohio?
I have Creighton and Virginia in those matchups, I believe, instead of UCSB in Ohio. I have Creighton. Check that. I have Virginia moving on. I don't have the technical defending national champs falling until their next matchup against Gonzaga in the following round. But like we said, any given game.
Yeah, this one, I had Ohio and UCSB. I'm rolling with the Bobcats. Ohio going to the Sweet 16.
To be honest, I didn't know too much about these teams, so I went with the higher seed. So yeah, there you go.
In-depth analysis here.
Then it's the winner of USC, Wichita State, Drake, and Kansas.
Rockhawk, Jayhawk.
Yeah, I have them playing USC, which I think differed from both of you guys, but I also have Kansas winning.
Absolutely. And then Oregon, Iowa.
Go Hawks.
Go
Okay,
Hawks. This one's a tough matchup for me. Being an Iowa fan, it's always tough to go against your team, but Oregon's just more athletic, and that's a big problem for Iowa. I think we lack athleticism, so that was a tough one to pick for me. What about y'all? What was difficult?
Oh, I think the toughest one is by far Iowa, Oregon. Oregon is a scary good team. They had a little letdown against Oregon State, but Oregon State went on to win the Pac-12. But in Iowa's as we know, they're a very restricted team. If they don't shoot well, they've shown to be very beatable, and they've had pretty extended stretches of not being able to score. So it's hard to win when you don't shoot well. But Iowa's a particular team that leans a lot on their shooting.
I agree. That was an incredibly difficult game to pick as well. I will throw out that Creighton and Virginia in my particular bracket was rather difficult with the way that both teams played down the late stretch this season. At the end of the day, are you going to pick the team that has the right coach, the team that has the right past? They have experienced players that have gone through this tourney several times. Not saying that Creighton doesn't, but Virginia's have experience on a higher level. Let's see if he'll take them to the Sweet 16 or if they'll fall in the round of 64.
Yeah, absolutely. So who y'all got in the two out of the Elite Eight in the West division? I have Gonzaga, and I actually have Iowa beating Kansas, and so I have Gonzaga and Iowa.
I also have Gonzaga and Iowa.
I have a little bit of a change here. I do have Gonzaga. There's not much you can't say about how great they are. But I have Iowa falling to Kansas, rather. Iowa teams have a tendency to underplay to what they can historically in the tournaments. And as much as I would love to move Iowa past Kansas, I just don't think that they have the makeup in the bigger moments.
Why'd you go with Iowa there?
I honestly think I like Iowa's odds better against Kansas than I do against Oregon. And we talked about it before. Kansas has had some issues with COVID. Some people not being able to travel with the team, not playing in the Big 12 tournament. They're cold right now. They don't, and they haven't been that great all season. I know they play a lot better down the stretch, but I still like Iowa in this, just because I think Garza will have a day inside, and maybe, just maybe, the shooters will make some shots.
Maybe.
Yeah, I kind of had the same thought process. KU has been out of playing games for a while, COVID, which is unfortunate. But I mean, this was kind of a flip a coin for me. I think either team can win, and I don't think it really matters who wins because they're going to be facing the Gonzaga Bulldogs next round. So I actually have Zaga beating the Hawks in the Elite Eight. What about y'all?
I agree. I do not have Iowa in that matchup. However, in my mind, it is irrelevant who is in that matchup.
Yeah, and I have the Gonzaga-Iowa matchup. This is a rematch from a game earlier in the year that Gonzaga won by 11, in which Iowa did not shoot well, and I think they will shoot better, and which Gonzaga shot incredibly well, much higher than kind of their average throughout the year. And with all that being said, I got the Zags. Better team wins.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, as we all seen, we had some different picks first and second round, but in the end, we all had the same team. So, do y'all think Gonzaga is by far the number one, or is it close? What do y'all think about that?
I have the lead Gonzaga as the best team in the field.
Keegan?
Yeah, I do believe that they are the team that has the most all-around talent, having probably 3, maybe even 4, but definitely 3 of the top 10 players in the country. Putting all of that on one team is incredibly difficult to beat in a given night when in any one game, each of them will tear you up in a different way.
Rule of threes. It's applicable about every sport. And how are you going to stop all 3 of them? I don't think you can.
Yeah. Another thing, we were talking about it earlier, is they've beaten Virginia, they've beaten Kansas, and they've beaten Iowa already.
All by double digits.
All by double digits. I believe Iowa was actually the closest,
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken,
11
by
points.
11 points. So we all come to a conclusion on this episode with Gonzaga in the Final Four. Catch us on the next episode, episode 8, in which we'll be talking about the East region. So make sure you check that out next. Thanks for tuning in. Follow us on Twitter, likes, and subscribe. Where's stop? Is that stop?
Yeah.